They came without warning, Barbary pirates sweeping through our peaceful Cornish village like a storm. I watched helplessly as 400 women, including Eliza, the girl I cared for most, were dragged onto ships, their screams tearing through the air. Betrayal struck close to home when I discovered that even my best friend had turned against us. Now, driven by rage, guilt, and the desperate need to save those I love, I must infiltrate the pirates' fortress, face my deepest fears, and confront those who betrayed me. Survival is only the beginning, revenge is inevitable. I wiped my hands on my trousers and squinted at the sun sinking behind the cliffs. "Thomas, you're late," I called, spotting him striding toward the dock with that stupid grin. "Late? I'm always on time, mate," he laughed. "Besides, you'd still be staring at Eliza's window if I didn't drag you away." I felt my cheeks burn. "I wasn't staring," I muttered, trying not to sound pathetic. "Sure you weren't." He elbowed me lightly, grinning. "Admit it, you like her." Maybe. I just respect her," I said, hoping my voice didn't shake. Eliza appeared then, carrying a basket of herbs, her hair catching the golden light. "Good evening, boys," she said softly. "Are you out fishing already?" "Not yet," I replied, too aware of her gaze. "Thomas here keeps me from being productive." "I can't help that he's stubborn," Thomas said, bowing dramatically. "Unlike some people I know." I groaned. "You're impossible." Eliza laughed, the sound like wind through the sails. "I suppose some stubbornness is useful," she said, handing me a small bundle of herbs. "For your mother's stew, yes?" I nodded. "Thank you. Always thinking of everyone." "You know her better than I do," Thomas said quietly, watching me. "One day you'll tell her how you feel." I didn't answer. I wasn't ready. Life in the village was simple, predictable. We had laughter, work, and each other. I felt safe. Then came the first roar, distant but unmistakable. "What's that?" I said, my stomach nodding. Thomas frowned, scanning the horizon. "Cannon fire? Impossible. There's no war here." A glint of sails appeared on the waves. Shadows moved fast, too fast. "Pirates," I whispered, heart hammering. The village erupted. Screams pierced the air. Women ran, clutching children. Men grabbed what weapons they could. I saw Eliza's basket fall, herbs scattering. "Eliza!" I shouted, but she was swept up in the chaos. "Stay back!" Thomas yelled, dragging me toward the rocks. "We can't fight them." But I couldn't move. My feet were frozen. I watched as pirates stormed the docks, dragging women to their ships. I saw Eliza struggle, her eyes meeting mine for the briefest second. Fear and desperation etched across her face. "Move!" Thomas pulled me again, but I couldn't stop staring. Rage burned hot in my chest, mingling with helplessness. Our village, the place I'd thought was untouchable, was collapsing. The roar of cannons grew closer, the sails swallowing the horizon. And in that moment I realized nothing would ever be the same. I clenched my fists, gritting my teeth. "I will save them," I muttered to myself. "No matter what it takes." I crouched behind the rocks, shaking as the pirates ransacked our village. The smoke stung my eyes and I could hear the cries of women, our women, being dragged to the ships. My hands were raw, trembling, useless. "Are you even listening to me?" Thomas hissed, gripping my arm. I can't move," I stammered. My voice sounded small even to me. "Of course you can." He shoved me forward. "We survive first. Then we figure out how to save them." I swallowed hard, guilt twisting in my stomach. "Eliza, she's gone. I saw them take her." Thomas went silent. For a second I thought he might say something comforting, but all he did was stare at the horizon. "We have to follow them," he muttered finally. "Follow them? Are you mad?" My voice cracked. "They'll kill us." "They killed our homes, our families," he said sharply. "We can't just wait. You feel it too, don't lie. That fire in your chest." I clenched my fists, tasting bile. He was right. Rage bubbled beneath fear, a fierce, desperate thing. "I can't just let them get away," I whispered. "I can't." Then I saw her. Eliza. Or at least a glimpse, a scarf she always wore caught in a pirate's hand. My heart seized. "There!" I shouted, pointing. Thomas grabbed me, shaking his head. "Quiet. They'll hear." I tore my gaze away, breathing hard. "I don't care. I can't do nothing. I won't." "Then you follow me," he said, voice low. "We'll track them, stay hidden. But promise me you'll listen to me, no heroics." I nodded, though my mind was racing with plans, traps, and vengeance. "I promise," I muttered, knowing it was a fragile lie. The village was almost unrecognizable. Smoke curled from roofs, fires flickered across the horizon, and the screams haunted every corner. A group of men carried what remained of the granary, arguing over who survived. "Where's your courage?" a voice sneered behind us. I spun, but it was only a villager, armed with a pitchfork, shaking with fear. I'm fine," I said, my chest tight. "You can't stay here." Thomas barked. "If we stay, they'll come back. And next time it's all of us." I wanted to argue, to fight, but he was right. The moment of helplessness was over. I had to act. I forced myself to follow him down the hidden path, away from the burning village. "Do you think we can really save them?" I asked, barely above a whisper. Thomas glanced at me, face hard but eyes shadowed. "We have to try. No one else will." I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. Fear, guilt, and rage collided, forming a storm inside me. The pirates had taken everything, our homes, our peace, our women, but I would not let them take my spirit. "I swear," I muttered under my breath, "I will find them. I will save Eliza, no matter the cost." And as the first night fell, Thomas and I vanished into the shadows, the distant sound of the pirate ships a constant drumbeat in my chest. I pressed myself against the wall of the harbor, my heart hammering as the pirate fortress loomed above. The scent of salt and smoke filled the air, but it was the sound of women crying that made my stomach twist. "Thomas, this place," I whispered. "It's worse than I imagined." He didn't answer right away, scanning the guards and the docked ships. "Keep quiet," he hissed finally. "We can't afford to be seen." I nodded, gripping the rope of the small rowboat we had stolen. My mind raced with questions. How were they keeping Eliza? Was she hurt? Was she still herself? A shadow moved across the fortress window. I froze. "Did you see that?" Thomas shook his head. "Probably just a guard." "Wait. Look, down there." He pointed to a small courtyard where women were lined up, carrying baskets, guarded by rough men. My chest tightened. "Eliza," I whispered, straining to see. She was there. Her eyes scanned the crowd, and for a brief second our gazes locked. She looked terrified but alive. Relief and pain collided in me. I swallowed hard. "We need information. We can't just rush in." A voice behind me startled us. "Lost, are we?" I spun and saw a young pirate guard, his uniform sloppy, not paying much attention to us. My pulse skipped. Thomas nudged me. "Talk to him." Quietly. I stepped forward, forcing my voice calm. "I'm just a traveler lost, trying to find the road to the city." He squinted. "Road? This isn't a city. But maybe I can help, for a price." I swallowed, nerves jangling. "What do you want?" "Information," he said, smirking. "I know who's in charge here. I know the schedules. I can tell you how the women are moved." Thomas glanced at me sharply. "Can we trust him?" I hesitated, then shook my head. "We don't have a choice. We have to try." The guard leaned closer. "I'm not loyal to the captain. His orders, they're cruel. Some of us don't want to see it either." I nodded, heart pounding. "Then help us." He grinned faintly. "Follow me, but be careful. One mistake and you'll join them in the cells." I followed, nerves on fire, watching the courtyard from every shadow. Women whispered among themselves, some crying quietly. The sight of them, Eliza included, broke something inside me. "She's strong," I muttered, almost to myself. "But I can't let them break her." Thomas patted my shoulder. "We'll save them. One step at a time." The guard led us to a quieter alley near the inner fortress. I crouched there, thinking of my next move, my hands trembling. Fear and anger collided, forming a determination I hadn't felt before. "I will not fail them," I whispered. "Eliza, I promise I'll bring you back. I'll save everyone, no matter what it takes." And for the first time since the raid, I allowed myself to hope. But I knew the danger was far from over. The fortress loomed above, and the shadows held more than just fear. They held choices, betrayals, and my first real chance at revenge. I crouched in the shadows, my heart pounding as I watched the women being moved to a more secure part of the fortress. Eliza was among them, her eyes scanning for any sign of help. I clenched my fist. "I have to act," I whispered. Thomas shook his head. "Not yet. Wait. Observe. Patience wins this fight." I didn't want patience. I wanted to storm the place and tear the pirates apart. But I nodded, hiding my rage. Then I saw him. Thomas. Not the one with me, the other Thomas, my best friend. My stomach dropped. What is he doing here?" I hissed. The shadow of him slipped between the guards and the women, whispering to one of the pirates. My blood ran cold. He's helping them?" I said, hope flickering briefly. Thomas grabbed my arm. Don't move. Watch. I did. My hope twisted into disbelief. My friend, my brother in all but blood, was guiding the pirates, directing them as if he belonged here. Why would he? I began. Because he made a deal, Thomas said quietly. He saved his family first. He traded loyalty for safety. For them. Betrayal hit me like a wave. My friend. I whispered, voice breaking. He'd sell us out? I'm afraid so, Thomas murmured. But we can still save them, all of them, if we're smart. I felt rage and despair twisting in my chest. I wanted to run to him, yell, scream, demand answers, but I couldn't risk being caught. I ground my teeth. I trusted him. I trusted him with everything. And now, my voice faltered. He's part of this nightmare. Thomas put a hand on my shoulder. Then we use it. His fear, his weakness, our advantage. Don't fight him, fight the fortress. I shook my head, anger surging. I can't just ignore him. He betrayed me. He betrayed everyone. Not yet, Thomas said firmly. We're not ready to face that. Focus on Eliza. On the others. One step at a time. I swallowed hard, trying to control the shaking in my hands. I will make him pay, I muttered. But not now. Not yet. I'll save them first. Then you deal with him, Thomas said quietly. I took a deep breath, staring at the courtyard. The women, the suffering, the fear, it all sharpened my purpose. I will save them. All of them. And I'll make sure he regrets every choice he made. Thomas nodded. Good. That fire in you, don't let it burn out. Use it. Channel it. I clenched my fists again, feeling the rage and determination mix. Betrayal cut deep, but it also gave me focus. Eliza's eyes, brief and full of trust, fueled me. I had one goal now, get them out. All of them. And when the time came, those who betrayed us would feel the weight of their choices. I crouched behind the stack of barrels, my heart hammering as the night swallowed the fortress. This is it, I whispered to Thomas. Keep calm, he hissed back. One step at a time. I nodded, gripping the dagger I had stolen from a careless guard. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. You have to, Thomas said. For them. For Eliza. The courtyard was quiet, but I could hear the women whispering, their soft voices trembling. And there she was, Eliza, her eyes scanning, searching. Relief and rage collided in me. There she is, I muttered. Wait, Thomas cautioned. We can't rush. Watch the guards. Timing is everything. I swallowed hard and nodded. I'll count the steps. You cover the exits. We moved silently, shadows among shadows. I could hear my own heartbeat, loud and raw. Every step was a risk, but I couldn't stop. The women depended on me. Then a guard rounded the corner. My mouth went dry. Thomas? He grabbed my arm and shoved me behind a pillar. Breathe. Let him pass. I swallowed, trying not to shake. The guard muttered to himself and disappeared. I exhaled slowly, rage coiling inside me. I hate them, I whispered. Use it, Thomas said. Channel it. Into every move. Into every strike. I nodded, eyes fixed on the fortress door. We need a distraction. I've got it, Thomas said. He grabbed a torch and tossed it toward the eastern warehouse. Flames roared instantly, drawing the guards away. Now. I hissed and we slipped inside. The women were crowded together, fear written on every face. Eliza's eyes found mine immediately. You came, she whispered. I told you, I said, my voice shaking. I would. We'll get you out. The pirate captain appeared then, tall, cruel, with a laugh that made my blood freeze. Thought you could sneak in, he sneered. Pathetic. Stay behind me. I shouted to the women. I won't let him touch you. He raised a sword. Bold words for a boy. I lunged, using everything Thomas had taught me, every trick I had learned in the shadows. Metal clashed, sparks flying. You won't win. I shouted. You're alone, he hissed, striking at me again. I'm not, I spat. I have everyone I care about with me. The fight blurred. I ducked, stabbed, and pushed with all my strength. Finally, with a sharp twist, I sent him sprawling to the ground. He coughed, clutching his side, glaring at me with hate. Run! I yelled. Now! We grabbed the women, guiding them through the corridors. Eliza's hand was steady in mine, and I felt a surge of hope. Almost there, I whispered. A shout behind us. Hassan, the pirate guard who had helped us, fell as he blocked another attack. Go. Save them, he yelled, blood staining his uniform. No. I screamed, but Thomas grabbed my arm. He knew the risk. I didn't answer. I just ran, pulling Eliza and the others with me. Every step was heavy, but freedom was close. The fortress loomed behind us, a dark nightmare, but we were alive. And in that night, as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, I felt something I hadn't in days: victory. Painful, costly, but real. The village came into view, but it wasn't the home I remembered. Smoke lingered in the air, roofs were blackened, and empty streets echoed with silence. I gritted my teeth. "It's worse than I feared," I muttered. Thomas put a hand on my shoulder. "It's bad, but we survived. We saved them. That counts for something." I shook my head. "Count for something? Look around. Nothing will ever be the same." Eliza stayed close, her hand gripping mine. "We're alive. That's what matters," she said softly. Her words should have comforted me, but guilt weighed too heavily. "Alive isn't enough," I said. "We lost people, Thomas. Hassan, he's gone. And I couldn't do more." Thomas sighed. "You did everything you could. Stop blaming yourself." I clenched my fist. "I trusted someone, Thomas. My friend, he betrayed us. Betrayed everything. And now he's here, back in the village, untouched." Thomas's jaw tightened. "He'll face consequences. The villagers won't forgive betrayal easily." I swallowed hard, my throat tight. "Good. You should feel it. Every moment of guilt, every sleepless night. Maybe then he'll understand what it means to betray someone who trusts you." Eliza tugged my hand gently. "Don't let your anger eat you alive. Focus on living. Focus on us, on rebuilding." I looked at her, her eyes calm despite everything, and felt a strange mix of relief and pain. "You've been through hell," I said quietly. "And yet, you're still strong." "I had to be," she said. "If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here. You saved us, even with all the risks." I shook my head. "We saved some. Not all. And I still can't forget Thomas, Hassan, everyone who helped or suffered. I keep seeing their faces." Eliza squeezed my hand. "That's the price of surviving. But you can't carry it alone." I looked at the village, torn between rage, grief, and exhaustion. "I feel like a shadow walking through ruins," I admitted. "Nothing feels safe anymore." Thomas nodded slowly. "Then make it safe. For the women, for the village. For yourself." I exhaled sharply. "You think I can? After everything?" "You'll try," he said simply. "That's enough for now." Eliza leaned closer. "I'll help you. We'll all help. The village can rebuild. We'll survive together." Her words sparked something fragile inside me, a hope, faint but real. I let myself feel it, though anger still simmered beneath the surface. "We'll survive," I whispered, more to myself than anyone else. A few villagers emerged from hiding, staring at us with wary eyes. One man stepped forward, glaring at Thomas. "You betrayed us," he spat. "You'll pay for that." I didn't intervene. I let the justice come. Thomas's face fell, pale and remorseful, and I felt satisfaction mixed with sorrow. Karma was slow, but it had found him. I took a deep breath, holding Eliza's hand tighter. The sun rose over Cornwall, golden and indifferent. The fortress was behind us, the pirates defeated, and yet, the cost was heavy. But I had survived. We had survived. And slowly, painfully, I realized that surviving meant more than escaping death. It meant facing betrayal, loss, and heartbreak, and choosing to live anyway. The sea was calm, but my mind was not. I stood on the shore, watching waves lap at the sand. "It's quiet," I muttered. Eliza joined me, her hand brushing mine. "It feels different," she said softly. "Like the world is still, waiting for us to move forward." "I keep seeing faces," I admitted. "Hassan, the villagers, Thomas." She nodded. "I see them too. But holding on to the pain won't bring them back. We have to live even with it." I clenched my fist, staring at the horizon. Living feels empty sometimes. I survived, but so much is gone. Eliza touched my arm gently. "Surviving is not empty if you choose to carry the lessons, the memories, and each other." I swallowed, the salt air stinging my throat. "You're right. It's just hard." "I know," she said. "But it's worth it." I looked at her, the wind tugging at her hair, and finally smiled faintly. "Then we keep going. Together." A lone gull cried overhead. I whispered to the sea, to the memory of all we lost, "I'll remember. I'll honor them. And I'll keep moving forward." The waves whispered back, indifferent, eternal. I knew the scars would never fully fade, but somehow, survival felt like a quiet victory.